morning, everybody. We Are the Energy by Metric was a little soundtrack that I chose to jump on stage today. Go and look it up if you're not already a fan. It's one of those ones where I'm out walking the dog and I've got a big day coming up that gets me fired up. And I think, you all, bring the energy when it comes to people and culture and knowledge and understanding within your organizations. And this talk and this technology is going to play right into your hands. So AI New Zealand was founded in 2017 to showcase where, how, and why we can all be leveraging artificial intelligence to supercharge your potential. Today, well, actually, to go back to the Genesis story and where I started becoming curious about artificial intelligence in 2015, 2016, you'll all remember kind of Google Home, Amazon Alexa, this thing called Siri. We were starting to talk to our devices. Can you turn the lights on in the bedroom? What's a recipe for French onion soup? How do you get rid of the bloody aphids off the roses? That kind of stuff, right? The way that we were interacting with devices was changing. When we went to South America for 6 weeks, we noticed another key change, a key difference. While in New Zealand and Australia, we're all using WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger, but we're all texting away. And over there, it was all voice messages. Everyone was talking into their devices, sending voice messages. And so we started thinking, like, Meta, Facebook, is building this treasure trove of language data. What on earth might they be doing with it? And of course, now we know. Today, our daughter Fern is just turned 1, and she will never learn to type or need to type. She probably will never need to learn to drive a car. I'd say keyboards to her are probably going to be like Walkmans to us, foreign objects. The way that we're interacting with devices is really changing. And so over the last 18 months, I've been speaking at hundreds of events around New Zealand and running lots and lots of workshops. And what I've learned is that business leaders are just not grasping how fast and the significance of this pace of change that AI is bringing. What previously took 20 years, then 10 years to transform our lives is now taking 5, perhaps 3. And that creates a lot of challenges. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the co-owner of the Dallas Mavericks, Mark Cuban.
How do you see this new AI era?
It's a beast. There's only 2 types of companies in this world, Morgan. Those who are great at AI and everybody else. If you don't know AI, you are going to fail. Period, end of story. Whether you are an employee, you're going to have to understand it, how it impacts your job or how you can use it to be better at your job. Same, if you're a student, the same thing. And if you're a CEO, you can't just say, okay, I'm going to get my tech guys to understand it and educate me on it. You have to understand it because it will have significant impact on every single thing that you do. There's no avoiding it.
I'll just let that sit for a moment. In 18 months, can you believe it? ChatGPT 3.5 launched in October 22. In 18 months, more than 2 billion people have used generative AI tools, making it the fastest adoption rate of any general purpose tech in history. We've never, ever seen a technology become as relevant as quickly as generative AI. Because for the first time, we've actually created, for the first time in human history, we've actually created something that will be smarter than us. And at many tasks, it already is. So what is artificial intelligence? AI refers to the capability of machines or software to think and learn and do like us. Machine learning underpins a lot of artificial intelligence. It's the field of computer science that uses statistical techniques to give computer systems the ability to learn with data without being explicitly programmed, right? Generative AI uses neural networks and deep learning to analyze the patterns in large data sets, to generate content like text and images and audio and video. The process involves synthesizing the learned information to create outputs that mimic human-like creativity and understanding. They are pattern recognition systems, which can be inherently biased and often in quite unpredictable ways. For example, skin cancer might not be detected because there wasn't a ruler next to the photo with melanoma like all of the training data. We'll talk a lot about GenAI today. Digital humans. More than just a chatbot that appears on the bottom right-hand corner of your website. Digital humans are now providing us ways to communicate with digital avatars in ways we've never been able to do before. Now, I was at the New Zealand Businesswomen's Conference last month, and I introduced her as Marilyn Manson. That's what we call a hallucination in AI. Marilyn Monroe, of course, is the project of Auckland company Soul Machines, who develop these digital humans. And when the app is released, you'll be able to go on, millions of people at the same time will be able to go on and have a conversation with Marilyn Monroe about anything you particularly like. Now, Marilyn will not only be able to respond to what you text or say, but respond to your non-verbal communications as well. So your tone of voice, your facial expressions, your hand gestures, the non-verbal communication, so that you can have a much deeper, richer, more rewarding conversation. Now, I was on Breakfast TV a couple of weeks ago as well. The CEO of Zoom had come out and said that they were predicting within 5 years a digital twin would be attending your meetings and potentially answering questions and interacting on your behalf. Mind-blowing, right? It's not 5 years away. It's probably more like next year, to be honest. And this is the type of technology that will be interwoven into this digital twin, digital avatar technology that we'll be using. Natural language processing. Of course, you all know if you upload a video to YouTube, it transcribes the video. If you're running a Teams call or a Zoom call, you can transcribe your meetings. That's all natural language processing. And of course, the large language models that we use all day, every day. Everyone using a large ChatGPT, Copilot, everyone using one? Bloody hope so. Computer vision, how we teach computers to see. We've been teaching how to, okay, we've got lots of really good examples of this through the show. So it might be health and safety, so identifying potential collisions within warehouses. It could be you're parked up at the lights at an intersection. Across the intersection, there's a billboard. You're driving a 2017 BMW. What comes up on the billboard? This year's BMW, of course. No coincidence. When you're driving through Z fuel stations, and you've got the fast lane app, computer vision is identifying your number plate so that you can pay via the app. With robotics, if you've been to a Sedima hotel, we've now got these little R2-D2s that are going around picking up your dirty dishes, dropping off your fresh plates of food. We're going to see more and more of those types of robotics within our workplaces. And of course, we're using AI to sort apples and pack houses, to pick kiwi fruit, to do all sorts of different applications. And process automation is moving much further beyond just thinking about the digital human process. It might be like applying for a car loan or something like that, where you typically have a human in the loop. They're doing if this, then that kind of decision making, which of course can be codified. Process automation is expanding out into AI agents that will be able to do more tasks that previously only humans could do. So for example, if you want to book a weekend to Queenstown, you might be able to give your AI agent the instructions. It would go to the website, find a hotel, pick your flights, find things to do. You know, can click a button, fill out a form, maybe even pay with your credit card if you've authorized it. All sorts of things that, well, I was speaking to a bunch of master builders around Southland a couple of months ago, and one of the classic, you know, really interesting use cases for them was an order comes in or a job comes in, and they have someone who's got to check that order, validate and make sure that the right materials are there to be able to complete that job. And then they've got to phone carters, hope that someone answers to be able to order the materials to get there. Now, in a not so distant future, that builder's AI agent will be able to talk to Carter's AI agent to get the materials to turn up on time. That will be hugely beneficial for everybody. This is Brad Craig. He runs the Apparel Master laundromat in Inglewood. They've just done a massive $5 million upgrade, and it's now New Zealand's most technologically advanced laundry facility. So they use computer vision to identify the size of the towel or the garment as it's coming through, and they've got a folding machine that can process 700 to 800 towels an hour. That's wild. They've got 55 full-time employees. No one lost their job. They're all good. But that plant has now become infinitely more productive, more effective, and more profitable. This project started out with Vulcan Steel and a hackathon at Microsoft in like 2017, 18, I think. And Tane van der Boom has now developed it out into its own business. And so they're using computer vision here to monitor for potential collisions within risky workplace situations, right? They're using it to help with health and safety training, obviously making sure that people are not where they're supposed to be, and they can ring alarms so that machinery will stop or people will stop if there is a potential collision or a high-risk environment, right? Genesis Energy have been running a Microsoft Copilot. Who's on Microsoft Copilot? Fantastic. So they published some reported insights on their trial of Microsoft Copilot, with their people indicating that they were gaining between 2 and 5 hours a week of increased productivity. I'm like, if your people had 5 hours extra a week, what would you get them to do? I mean, the pace of change would just be rapid, right? So they were using Copilot to, in billing and payments, in meeting transcriptions, creating action summaries, and then condensing technical information or summarizing technical information, among many, many different things. This is, can't even remember it now. Fruitometry. This is Chris at Fruitometry. So he came out of Team New Zealand a few tours ago. He built a supercomputer in his garage, and now they have these quad mics which are packed full of cameras and lights and tech. They drive up and down kiwi fruit orchards. So they can identify which plants have leaves that are diseased, which ones need water on them or fertilizer or a bit of love, so we can start building these precision agriculture frameworks. They can also help them predict the yield from the harvest, so they can go out and get the right amount of pallets, the right amount of people to support it, or perhaps a bank loan to get it out there. Another really great example, I love this. Another one from Tane van der Boom, actually. Maui63.org, they created this $250,000 drone packed full of computer vision. It flies between Raglan and Piha and out to 50 kilometers, and it scans for Maui and Hector's dolphins, and then notifies the fishing trawlers around the area to stay away, to put it politely. It also monitors how close the dolphins get to land, random fact of the day coming up, because it's the cat piss that comes off the hillside that creates the toxic plasmosis that impacts the dolphins. So no cat ladies on. We talked a little bit about digital twins. So I don't know if you saw this one. This one came up in, I think, February or March earlier this year. So the story goes, an accountant at a finance company was invited to a Zoom call with the CFO, which was slightly unusual, but his two colleagues were also on the call, so he went along. During the call, the CFO asked him to process a payment for $25 million, which he thought was a little bit unusual, but because his colleagues were there, he went along with it. They were all fake. But convincing enough that he processed a payment for $25 million. So a couple of things that come out of this. That whole idea about a digital twin being able to face swap with you, or a malicious actor being able to face swap in a Zoom call, that technology exists and it's getting better by the day. We are going to have some questions to be asked about identity management within Zoom calls and authenticity. Are you actually who you say you are? How are you going to validate that information? We now have technology where a digital twin can complete a job application and then turn up to the video interview, even answering questions in conversations with the recruiter. This exists now. So how are you going to know if the person that you're about to hire is real or a digital twin? And who has the actual skills that you need? That might be the digital twin. Okay, how many hours have you spent looking at one of these? Be honest. With AI tools like generative AI, today we are saved from this because no one has to start a task from scratch. Previously, though, our search for information would start with searching Google. What's the best way to create a marketing plan? How do I develop a learning and development program for my organization? Only to be faced with 11 billion search results. Today's day and age, this feels just completely ludicrous, right? We ask a question and we get 11 billion answers. Well, again, AI is going to come and help you solve this. So previously, your process would be you'd search Google, and you'd probably scroll through maybe the first couple of pages, and you'd click on some links, and you'd pull out, go, oh, that's interesting. Oh, I like that bit over there. Oh, that's really good. And you'd create this document. Now with artificial intelligence, it's doing all of that for you. These tools are creating blended search results based on everything that it knows, and what it can search for on the internet, and then based on your prompt is pulling it all together, hopefully in a nice articulate way. This is Perplexity. Anyone using Perplexity? Oh, brilliant, yes. You'll all put up your hand if I ask you this question tomorrow, okay? Perplexity is fantastic. It will give you references for each piece of information that it provides. ChatGPT is just launching their search capability, which is very similar to this. Previously, ChatGPT would have no idea where it got the information from. And sometimes it would tell you that it got it from there, but it just made it up anyway. Perplexity is brilliant. It is creating that blended search result to help you make decisions and get work done faster. Ultimately, we're using these answer engines to inform our decision making, right? What questions should I ask them in the interview? What's the best learning development program for our warehouse ops team? Who's competing with us in the USA? And how do we actually stack up? What could we do differently to appeal to their customers? How should we adapt our business strategy to win market share? And what skills would our team need to successfully launch the business in the USA? These are all conversations that you can be having with any of these tools today to help you make more informed decisions. You can ask any one of these AI chatbots any question you like, and I almost guarantee that they'll give you an answer that's good, if not better, than anyone else in this room could provide. And I think that's bloody remarkable. It's taken years and years of research, and yet today we're just at that very beginning of our AI journey. It's machine learning. So every day, the more we use these tools, the better they will get. And this is generative AI, and it's a game changer. And it's only been around 18 months. And this is where we should all start. AI tools are trained to think and act like us, mimicking our behavior. So whether you're a CEO or a scientist or a learning development manager, an HR manager, everyone, all of you should be using these tools like you do email every day. All you have to do is give them a job to do. They just want a task. They can be your digital assistant to summarize an industry report, to generate sales reports from your data. They can be a strategist to help prepare a go-to-market strategy or role-play a sales pitch. Or they can be your creator, helping you come up with AI art and images and product information or product imagery as well. So where are we in New Zealand? How do we stack up? Today, if your organization is not using artificial intelligence in some shape or form, you are in the minority. In Australia, 70% of companies are using artificial intelligence. We are slow. We have to hurry up and get a wriggle on. However, 84% of employees also said they'd exposed some company IP to generative AI tools. So why is this happening, people? Why is it? This is happening because enterprises are slow off the block. Bring your own AI to work, and shadow AI tools are the biggest security threat to companies at the moment, not CrowdSpike or whatever it was. When people are bringing their own AI to work to do tasks in your companies, all the data, you have no control over the data that they're uploading and sharing, over the conversations that are happening with those tools, least of all the results and the knowledge that they're creating by utilizing these platforms. ChatGPT has become this phenomenal success because it is a consumer-grade product. Anyone with a browser and a credit card, $40 a month, can go on. You don't need $40 a month. You can use it for free, right? copilot.microsoft.com, free. Anyone can have access to these intelligent systems to short-shift their work. We need to be deploying enterprise-grade technology, enterprise-grade generative AI tools across your organizations that inherit the security protocols that you already have within your systems, so that you're providing a safe place for people to experiment, to think, could I use AI to solve this? Ask questions, to be able to utilize company data in a safe, responsible way to think about how they shape-shift their work. Okay, so we've talked a little bit about large language models, how they predict the next word in the sentence. Now we're going to start tapping into some other forms of generative AI. So tools like Midjourney, right? Midjourney literally are predicting the next pixel in the sequence, like they have been done before. In the past few years, we have progressed from pretty fugly to bloody amazing, right? So amazing that this guy won a fine art competition in Colorado with a Midjourney created image. We now have companies like Brand IQ in Auckland with Steve Ballantyne and the team that are using Midjourney to come up with product marketing images. We've got Auckland Theatre Company who are using it to ideate where they've got new shows, to come up with ideas for what that new show might look like. Instead of sending it to an agency and waiting a couple of weeks for things to come back, their team can come up with hundreds of ideas in an afternoon and then send the final ones to the designer to put the actors in and the characters in and things like that. This is not the process. This is a part of your process. AI is not coming for your job. AI is coming for tasks, the repeatable tasks that you do every day, so that you have more time to do the things that only you can do. So with this, I mean, growing the flowers would take a long time to start with, right? If you're trying to sell maybe some hiking boots, and you want those hiking boots a little bit muddy, with a little frost as the sun comes up over the hillside, on a cold morning. Imagine getting the camera gear and the people and waiting for that perfect moment, right? It's expensive. Today, we just use Midjourney to imagine that background, and then we put our product in there. This is AI. This is Sora, OpenAI's yet to be released text to video generation platform. It sends shivers down my spine watching that and how damn good it is. The form, the factor, how that it's getting fingers and hands done so well. We are now, it's predicted that by end of next year, 95% of all marketing content is going to be produced by generative AI. This is possible with text to video generation. The next video is a TVC. You'll all know the brand.
Volvo for life.
So that Volvo AI ad was made in less than 24 hours by just one person. The creator generated all the shots using Runway ML, Gen 3 Alpha using text to video, and some small details and retouching in After Effects, like adding in the number plate. Producing video content is expensive, as we all know. You might work in your organization, you might have leaders that are producing market updates or product videos. Dave Coles, sorry, he's filming the talk for me today. You can't generate this. Today, we can create, if you all remember deep fakes from a few years ago, right? Where President Obama could be made to say kind of whatever you want him to say. Well, you can do that for yourself now. I went into the studio at the EMA for about 10 minutes, and I took 5 minutes of footage in 4K, camera there, and I just talked gibberish to the camera for 5 minutes. I uploaded that into a platform called HeyGen. It creates a digital clone, a digital avatar of me, including a digital clone of my voice. It's pretty good.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Justin Flitter. I founded AI New Zealand in 2017 and have been helping companies use artificial intelligence ever since. Thanks to Young Enterprise, we're going to explore how you can use AI to supercharge your business plans. Let's get started.
So I've now created a digital avatar. Every time I want to create a new video now, I go into HeyGen and I change the script and I press export. And if I want to add slides with product images or a background or change my shirt, or I can do that. Also, if I'm making a product video and I want to, I needed to appeal to a foreign market.
Good morning, everyone. Bonjour tout le monde. Je m'appelle Justin Flitter.
I just change the language and press export. It even gets my crazy hand gestures, right? Content production is becoming automated. Doesn't take away the need for intelligent, creative, smart ideas that are contextually relevant and on point for your business and your people. So what are the three biggest main use cases that we're seeing around New Zealand today? The first is in customer service. Fairly predictable. People are building chatbots like ChatGPT that are trained on their company product or service information, or perhaps what it means to be an employee with your company, the culture, the heritage. What do I do when I turn up for my first day? It's trained on a set of data. Super easy to do. Pre-COVID, 5 years ago, might have cost 50, 60 grand to do something like this. Today, there are tools we can do it for $100 a month. That's the change that we're seeing. The next is document creation. So using ChatGPT or Google Gemini or Microsoft Copilot or any one of those large language models to write emails, to build sales presentations, to prepare board reports, to write legal documents. Actually, ChatGPT is quite good at doing some legal stuff. Just putting it out there. All of these tasks that can 10x our productivity. And the third is building a company brain. Hear me out, hear me out. All your organizations have all of these disparate data sets. You've got CRM, file storage, your accounts, your chat. None of those things necessarily talk to each other, but they're all rich sources of information that if you were going to ask a question about a product or a service or a customer or a project, you would need to look to all of those different places to create the blended search result that you need to make an informed decision. Today, with generative AI, we can put that layer across the organization. Not moving any data around. People can select, you can select which data from those different data sets the generative AI tool has. So that we can then start creating blended search results across whole of org. We can build AI agents. We can build AI, look at automating and optimizing workflows that you have within your business that previously only humans could do.
Why would I want to be interviewed by a digital version of myself? Well, great question. Read AI, introduce yourself to everyone.
Hello, everyone. I'm thrilled to be here today. I'm an AI-generated version of Reid Hoffman, his digital twin. My thinking and everything I am saying comes from a custom GPT that is based on 20 years of Reid talking and making content. So I've read all his books, watched his speeches, and listened to his podcasts. I think it gives me a pretty good sense of how you approach the world, Reid.
So first,
you can go and watch the whole thing. It's pretty remarkable. Now, if Reid Hoffman can do this, we can all do this. If you think about all the knowledge that you have in your brains and your organizations, imagine feeding that into an AI system that could help you make decisions faster. A treasure trove of knowledge that would not only make your superhumans even more super, but your newbies into your company, experts, uplifting everyone to improve their performance, right? This is the remarkable potential for AI that we have today in business. So as you leave today, wrap up this conference, go back to work, I want you to mull over what your business could look like when it's powered by AI. What are the repeatable tasks that you or your people, your teams are doing that slow business down? And if we could just unlock that, potentially utilizing some artificial intelligence to automate, augment, or optimize, what would that do to the pace of change within your organization? But do so understanding where your people are at. I started the talk by recognizing that what previously took 20 years to change and then 10 years to change is now happening in 5 or 3. And that creates a lot of anxiety. It's not about people losing their jobs to artificial intelligence. It's that all of our jobs are changing at a rapid rate of knots. And that creates a lot of anxiety and uncertainty for people. I hope that through the work that we're doing and the talks that we can do and the workshops that we run, people start to understand it's here to help boost your potential. It's not here to take your role. AI ain't that good yet. So innovate at the pace of trust. Innovate at the pace that your employees and your people feel comfortable with. When they're the ones suggesting the use cases because they see the potential, that's where you want to sit. We are very much at that first inflection point of growth in this journey of artificial intelligence. If you want to accelerate that, come along to the Great New Zealand AI Roadshow, which starts in Napier next Tuesday. I think we're in Auckland at Mount Smart on September the 5th. These are super practical, made for non-technical people to help you get practical advice on enterprise generative AI tools, the challenges with people and process and adoption, the legal questions that you all have, and plenty of demos to showcase the practical ways these tools are actually supporting businesses today. We've been helping New Zealand companies and Kiwis use AI for good since 2017, and I'm delighted to be able to share a little of what we've learned with you today. Thank you.